Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel and coffee stream number 94. And it is Friday and it is guest day. And I actually have a guest. I have Satsu. Good morning, Satsu. How are you?
Good morning. I am good.
I also have a 4-year-old because there's no school today.
There's no school today.
So I am sorry for the high-pitched voice in the background.
Mom.
Alex, go in the playroom.
But it's too dark for me.
It's too dark for you.
Yo, Mom, why don't
Okay, guys, give me 30 seconds. Satsu can say hello and introduce himself to people who don't know him, which I would be surprised if there are any, but I will be right back.
Hi, Mom.
Let me bring up the chat.
It's that me.
Oh, stop it. Come on, hurry.
Hello, everyone. How's it going? Let me see. I got the chat up now. What's up, Skep?
Go.
What's up, Chadwick? What's up, Dayla Hayes? Is that Richo? Rico?
Hey, guys, I'm back. I'm sorry.
Jacob, what's up, man?
All right.
I'm just saying hi to everybody. I'm saying hi to people because...
So, Satsu is getting an introduction to what it's like to stream with children. What do you think about that, Satsu?
Oh, boy. I can't wait.
Well, you don't usually stream during the day, right? So
yeah, it's usually very late at night when we stream. So
yeah. So hopefully your child will be sleeping when you stream, but
yes, they will be sleeping, and usually, like, hopefully, my plan is when we move, I'll be in my gaming room, like my area where I do my work, will be a soundproofed area. And I'll have like a baby monitor just in case something happens. And then you guys are going to have to deal with me leaving temporarily so I can go take care of that.
Well, that's a good way to do it, though. Like, because babies are, well, and fans are really good about that. Like, my chat's really patient with me if I've got Alex or Logan. So you'll find that your chat is more like, oh, baby.
Yeah, they're just like, fuck what you're talking about. Go take care of that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, okay. It works out for us in the end. So
how's Squishy doing?
She's good. Patiently waiting for us to go to get her ultrasound and everything. Apparently, my mom is going, unbeknownst to me. I had no idea, but because Squishy and my mom, they don't talk very often because one, my mom's not used to me having a girl that she actually likes.
Oh.
And two, Squishy's not used to having family ties because her family is just kind of not shit, you know? So it's like this weird kind of disconnect where my mom is just like, I actually like her and I want to talk to her. But I don't know like how and when to just call her. And Squishy's just like, I don't have a relationship with my mom, and it's not normal for people to in my family. So it's just weird to like, you know, to just reach out to your mom like that because it just feels strange. And I'm just like, man, y'all need to get it together. But as soon as my mom found out Squishy was pregnant, now they talking every damn day. So I'm like, okay, cool, that works.
Well, that's good. That helps. Babies help a lot with stuff like that.
Indeed. They're both...
Are you guys planning on finding out, or do you want it to be a surprise with what
she
the
still
gender
hasn't
is?
figured out yet. She don't know what the hell she want to do. Yeah, we'll probably find out when we go. Like, I'll ask her beforehand, like, since my mom is coming, you want her to just know, and, you know, because my mom is probably going to be handling the gender reveal and all that stuff anyway, so that'll probably be best. But she's one of those people that gets really antsy. She's one of those, I want to open the Christmas presents now and not on Christmas. Yeah, so I don't know if she'll be able to hold it. She'll probably make me wait, though.
Oh, that's just mean.
She'll make me wait, but she won't be able to, I don't think.
So without spoiling your project that you just told me, or your video that you just told me about, you said you found something on Twitter that pissed you off.
Indeed. I'll read the tweet, but I won't. I won't really go into the rant if I can still
Yeah.
find it. It said something like a woman's vagina has 800 nerve endings or some shit like that, but it's still not as sensitive as a white male. Uh, and a white male responded, and to that response, they said, "You just proved my point because you responded to a generalized statement." Which is like the best trap ever. It's an elementary school trap.
It totally is.
It is like a fucking second grade schoolyard trap. Uh, but these people have been using it as of late, and it's annoyed the fuck out of me. So I got a video coming out about that pretty soon.
Be sure to watch that, guys. I've put Satsu's main channel link and his 2 Cents Plus channel link in the description, as well as his Twitter. So go check out. If you're not subbed to both channels and following Satsu, you totally should. Um, so yeah. I know that we don't. I know that it's been done to death, but have you found have you been in any more Twitter arguments over the MAGA hat kids?
I've been trying not to be.
Yeah.
So like whenever I see something, what usually happens is I'll type like half a response and then I'll be like, you know what? Fuck that. And then I'll just delete it and keep moving. Because at this point, I mean, it, all the evidence is out. The full video is 100% viewable for people. And even with that said, interpretation is a thing. People are still going to look at it however they want to look at it. So, I mean, there's really nothing else you can do at this point. Most reasonable people saw what happened and they realized that it wasn't as it seems.
Yeah.
And now people are really scrambling just to find something now that that has technically failed. Something they can get upset about, which is fine. I was talking to Monkey and them about this yesterday when I had said that the argument has shifted where people are saying like, we're like, okay, our entire argument is the fact that they didn't do what the video or what the media interpreted them to do. Like they just didn't do that thing. And everybody's like, yeah, but they did this other thing. And I'm like, okay, but they didn't do what the media said they did. They're like, yeah, but because they did this other thing, I still believe that they did what the media said. And I'm like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, like I saw that stuff about them doing quote unquote blackface at their blackout rally in what 2015 before any of these kids would have attended because high school's only 4 years and they were what, like sophomore and junior.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand why that is relevant.
It's not. And as it was pointed out before, the blackout event is just one of the events that they have. There's the blackout event, there's the whiteout event, and then there's the blue out event. And they have painted themselves each one of those colors at each one of those events on various occasions. It's nothing new. It's been around for quite some time. But of course that was hidden, and the news reporters who found out about the blackout event inevitably found out about the others because every time one of them is mentioned, the others are mentioned in every source that I've looked up. But they're just like, yeah, well, nobody who listens to us are going to research it. Like they believe anything we say. So just, put it out there. So
did you hear about PETA in Australia barbecuing a prop dog?
I did hear about that.
To promote veganism because somehow that makes sense.
Well, according to Monkey, there was a sign that said, if you wouldn't do this to a dog, then why do this to other animals? And I don't know.
Dogs are pets and lambs are food? Because the sign says if you wouldn't do this, if you wouldn't eat a dog, why would you eat a lamb?
And lambs are delicious.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, man. It's just one of those things.
Why are you crying? It's okay. What's the matter? Did you hurt yourself, buddy? You're just scared. Why are you scared?
Mommy loves you.
I love you too. What's up?
I want to sit on your back.
You want to sit on my lap? Can you sit quietly on my lap?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've just lied to, ma'am.
Yes, I have been.
Sorry, Mom.
It's okay, buddy. So yeah, I've also seen. I'm just looking through some news links that I've got.
Press the button.
No, you're not pushing any buttons
Why?
because I told you no, and you said you would sit quietly.
No.
I don't recall ever saying that, ma'am.
No, if you go upstairs, I'm not coming with you.
Why, Mom?
So there's apparently the New York Times is running a defense piece for the looks like for the Black Hebrew Israelites. For some reason, I had trouble saying that just now.
No.
Yeah, it says, Black anti-Semitic hate group. So that might not be the same thing. It says, New York Times runs defense of Black anti-Semitic hate group.
You got a link to that?
Yeah, here, let me, it's from it's written by Paul Joseph Watson. I don't know how much stock we take in Paul Joseph Watson, but I'll just DM it to you real quick.
Yeah. It's worth a look. I'm just curious. I want to see, because we saw CNN defend them. Well, not really defend them. They just mischaracterized them and called them a peaceful protest group who were just preaching about their religion and injustice.
There's my DM thread with you. Just a minute. But Mommy is doing something. Okay. Paste and send. There we go. Yeah, it's an InfoWars piece because he's working for them now, apparently. I always forget that.
Yeah, he's InfoWars.
I always forget every time I see InfoWars and then Paul Joseph Watson's the author. I'm like, what? Oh yeah.
All right. Let's see here. I'm just kind of scanning through and seeing what's going on.
Yeah.
This doesn't seem to be.
I don't think it's the same group.
Well, no. Okay, here it is. The text finally came in. I'm like,
Mom.
Shh.
All right. Piece written by John Ellington presents a sympathetic picture of the group, allowing one of its members to characterize what they do as tough love.
Tough love, huh?
Tough love. Calling a bunch of Native Americans Uncle Tomahawk. Calling all the black people in the opposition. Where it's tough love.
Would you mind reading that really quick while I take care of him? Stop.
Let's see.
Dude. I know, but I'm streaming and you're going to make me sound like I'm killing you, dude, and I can't find the mute button. So, you just freaked out for no reason. It's okay.
Ex-Bubba Hotep, I don't like you for that. Hey, Satsu, try not to think about Resident Evil. Yeah, I'll try not to think about it now that you done brought it up. Okay, so in an article entitled Hebrew Israelites See Divine Intervention and Lincoln Memorial Confrontation, the paper completely ignores the fact that the group called the Covington kids white crackers. This word that I'm not going to say on our channel because I don't want to get her demonetized or something, and incest kids, while also labeling them future school shooters and telling African-American students that they would harvest his organs Instead, the piece written by John Ellington presents a sympathetic picture of the group, allowing one of its members to characterize what they do as tough love. In reality, in addition to the racist and homophobic slurs, the group was caught on camera hurling them at children, and members are known to hold overtly disgusting views, which is true. Isn't that fascinating, though? How a group holds overtly racist things, like they say things that are like straight up purely racist and sexist and all that stuff or whatever. And they don't see that. Like they can't see it. They don't know what that looks like. They can't recognize it. But for some reason, a person sitting there standing still, they can translate that whole thing into a complete and utter racist oppression. Because they're like, just think of the implications behind it. Think about that smile and what it means. Let's really take some time to translate what this means and what it stands for. And it's just like, you don't have to translate what they stand for because they literally said exactly what they meant about these people and what they thought about them. And they're just like, nah, that's fine. It's the subliminal shit we care about. Let's see here. Some say they're a hate group, but they're also checked by a rapper.
I'm very sorry about that, guys. I couldn't get to the mute button fast enough, and I don't know what the hell he was screaming about.
No, I'm just kind of reading through this ridiculousness here. It's not telling us much, though.
No, I find that a lot of the InfoWars stuff, I've tried to read stuff from them before, and I find that it's very vague.
Yeah, I just clicked on the article that they referenced from the actual New York Times. So
okay.
Let's check this out here. Let's see here. So this is called How Israelites See Divine Intervention in the Lincoln Memorial Confrontation. They are sidewalk ministers who use confrontation as their gospel. That's the first sentence.
Sidewalk ministers who use confrontation as their gospel, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, then.
Isn't that an interesting way to say they harass people in the streets?
Yeah. That's
an interesting way to word they harass people in the streets.
It's a very milquetoast way of doing it. It's like, oh, they're just sidewalk ministers and they're very confrontational, but it's like, what?
That is super interesting. So they post up on street corners in big cities, usually and predominantly black communities, wearing flashy garbs, purple shirts, and black robes, for instance. They shout and use blunt and sometimes offensive language and gamely engage in arguments aimed at drawing listeners near.
Wow.
The attention-grabbing tactics of the five of their followers at Lincoln Memorial on Friday resulted in spectacular consequences. The fringe theology landed in the national spotlight after a viral video surfaced. A group of Black Hebrew Israelites profanely clashing with dozens of mostly white Catholic schoolboys wearing Make America Great Again hats, which they didn't even... I don't know. Have you seen that entire video?
I've only heard most of the... I heard the first video that, like, with the drumming and everything, but I didn't know. I haven't seen the entire video.
Okay.
I just heard the 30-second. I heard the 30-second. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch the entire video of what you did about the...
I would check it out if you want more context as far as this group is concerned, because the order of events, the way the video starts, probably the first 30 or 40 minutes is exclusively the Black Israelites just doing their thing. And what happened is they were sitting there and they were preaching and they were yelling out at people or whatever and just yelling shit at people. And then the first confrontation they had was with the actual natives, that, like, the group of natives that was there protesting initially before the MAGA hat kids showed up.
Yeah.
and they were arguing with them, telling them that their culture is shit, that they worship stupid things that don't make any sense when they need to be worshiping something else, telling them that they're dumb for worshiping the elements and worshiping the animals and saying how stupid that concept is. This is what they were doing in this video. And one of the natives actually got upset and came over and started like cussing and yelling at them. And they called him an ignorant N-word and said that he was a Uncle Tomahawk for hanging out with those white people, trying to push false narratives of peace when he needs to be, fighting against the white devil. This was happening long before the MAGA kids showed up. And then at some point, after he got done arguing with them and calling them Uncle Tomahawks because they didn't run with his narrative, and one of the dudes told him to shut the fuck up, he lashed out at them. And then he referenced the MAGA kids who were all the way across the field at the time, minding their business. And he said, you want to get mad at me for telling you the truth and telling you that what you're doing is stupid and your culture is stupid when you got these MAGA kids over here. And that was the first time that they were mentioned or referenced. Now, all the articles are claiming that the MAGA kids interacted with them first.
Yeah.
Started fucking with them, but that's not true. They were minding their business, and then this dude started yelling at the MAGA kids because the Native Americans there got pissed at him because he was yelling at them.
Yeah.
So he lashed out at the MAGA kids because he's like, how the fuck you gonna get mad at us? Because we're telling you that your culture is stupid and you worship dumb things that we don't agree with when those kids are over there wearing those hats. And that's how they initially got brought into the situation to begin with, because at that point, he started focusing his attention on them.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And
wow.
Yeah, that was the transition. That's how the MAGA kids got involved in the first place. Now, in all the articles, you'll see that they say the MAGA kids started surrounding these four preachers and harassing the black people or whatever. But the only reason that happened, that they even approached them, is because they were being addressed directly by them. So they're like, what the fuck is this dude talking about? Because I would imagine what it looked like to them, being as far away as they were, is somebody was yelling and pointing at them across the field, and they're like, what the hell is this guy talking about?
Yeah, let's go see why we're being pointed at.
Right. So that's what happened. That's the story. You can check the video and check it out, but it's very eye-opening to get a good picture at what happened there. And that was kind of the reason I got really upset, because I'm like, here's an overt group of people literally saying out of their mouths that we hate these people are horrible, these people are terrible. And they were saying really homophobic stuff and just like blatantly saying it. And then we had a case of people trying to interpret the actions of some people who literally stood still and did nothing. And was like, that is the definition of pure racism, not actual spewed racism, like people actually saying racist things out of their mouths. For some reason, I just can't see. I don't know what's racist about this. I don't get it. Standing still? Now that's, come on. How could you?
Yeah, standing still and smiling at somebody. Oh, what a piece of shit! Like, and I have family friends that are sharing these mainstream media articles, and and they are saying, oh, this is the definition of white privilege, and these kids are just disgusting, and like, her oldest son is 2 years younger than Nick what's his name? Sands or Sandman or whatever.
Salmon, yeah.
Sandman. Yeah, her oldest son is 2 years younger than him. And she's totally okay with the media roasting these kids. Like, I'm just sitting there going, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, you have a white son who is 2 years younger than this kid, and you're okay with all this shit?
Yeah, it's insane. But as I said, narrative is king. And if you have to go against whatever flimsy morals you claim to have, as long as the narrative's held up, then, anything is permitted. Which is why, these people frustrate me so much, because it's just like, supporting a cause is one thing, but it's very difficult to back or support somebody who does not believe in the things that they push.
Yeah.
Which makes, dealing with activists and this kind of activism problematic for me, because I'm just like, I can't resonate with any of it because I know that you're not genuine. So even if the message is good, I know you're not genuine. So it's hard for me to take you seriously. And when people mimic that shit, it just drives me insane.
It's true, and this is one of the reasons why I don't do very much activism in the blind community anymore, because it's gotten so much into intersectionality, and like I've actually seen white blind people say that we can't possibly we have it better than black blind people because we're white, and it's like, why does it matter? Like, why do you have to bring that in?
Like, dude, I can't see to the same capacity that you can.
Yeah, like is the black person's total blindness different than a white person's total blindness? Like, what? Like, because they're saying, oh, well, on top of being blind, black people have to deal with that institutionalized racism. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's really weird. And like, I'm in a kind of an awkward position because there are certain things that I subscribe to, but it's hard for me to defend the people who push these ideas because they just don't make any sense, and these people are disingenuous. For example, like, because of my views, I get a lot of kind of very far right wing people who support and follow me because they're just like, he's fighting against the shit that I hate. So I had this one dude on Facebook come along. I was having a conversation about privilege, and the dude's like, fuck yeah, because white privilege doesn't exist. And I'm like, yeah, it does. And he's like, no, it doesn't. And I'm like, but it does. It just doesn't matter. And he's like, no, it's made up bullshit that Snowflake's made up. And I'm like, look, I know you like, I said something that you liked, so you're like, this dude is totally on my side. But I'm like, the concept that you're talking about exists, but it does not matter in this world because you have no control over it. So saying that it doesn't exist doesn't make any sense, because if your legs are broken and mine aren't, then I have the privilege of walking and you don't. What does that equate to in the long term? Nothing. It doesn't mean anything. It just means I can walk and you can't. But it does exist. Like, me being black, I have privileges that some white people don't have. I can say things that they can't say. I can be openly racist and not get in trouble. Like, I have the privilege of doing those things. What does it equate to in the long run? Not much, because not everybody's afforded that.
Yeah.
Just not every other black people has that same capacity of privilege based on their position, based on their quality of life, based on where they were raised, based on how much money they have. All of that shit changes everything. So at the end of the day, even though these privileges can exist in some people, which they do, it doesn't matter because you literally have no control over it. So it's like, yes, it does exist. And I had to like argue with this dude about that. He's like, well, you think this way, so you shouldn't hold that view. And I'm like, but
don't tell me how to think, asshole.
Like, and that's why I have issues, because I argue with people on both sides consistently. Like, I'm constantly getting bombarded by people on both sides because I think for myself. And I'm like, if you say something dumb, then I'm gonna say it's dumb. I don't care what side you're on. And I don't like playing semantics, like Skeptok said. It's a semantic distinction, and it is because it's just like it really doesn't matter. The concept of having a conversation about privilege on a broad scale, when we're talking about generalizations and entire groups of people, is pointless. Because I could stand two white people next to each other and say, explain to me your white privilege, and tell another one, explain to me your white privilege, and they'll be totally different. Completely different. So it's kind of pointless to talk about. And if you dictate your life based on privilege and say that you have to prostrate yourself to people who don't have whatever said privileges you have, then you'd be surprised the type of people you owe apologies to. you'd be apologizing to quite a few people that you never expected to. You know, because it's just it is what it is. like I owe apology to like fucking men with erectile dysfunction or some shit. Where it's like they have this thing that you don't have, so you need to make sure that you make them feel better about it. I'm like, that ain't got shit to do with me. Fuck, I gotta apologize to them for, or feel bad that they exist.
Should I apologize to people in wheelchairs because I can walk?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And the answer to them would be yes. Yes, you should. You should feel bad that you can walk and they can't.
Like if I'm sitting on a in the disabled seating on the bus, right? Because where we are here, you're supposed to give strollers and people in wheelchairs and stuff the front part of the bus. Like the seats fold up and you can put a wheelchair or a stroller there. And if I'm sitting in that section and a person in a wheelchair or a person with a stroller happens to get on, I will stand up and move because I may be blind, I may have a disability, but I can move.
Yeah.
Right? Like that doesn't mean that like I'm not doing it because I feel guilty because of my walking privilege.
Yeah, but
I'm doing it because it's fucking courtesy.
Yeah.
And I recognize that I can.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what a lot of people don't get, you know. A lot of people don't understand those concepts because they're just like you somehow owe something to the people who, you know, are and I don't disagree with the notion that if you know, were born into a rich family and you encounter poor people, that you shouldn't look down on them and shit like that, or treat them somehow differently or lesser, or if you have the opportunity and the means to help them, that you shouldn't. I don't disagree with those notions, but the fact that they are obligated to do so and should feel bad, no, they're not. They're not obligated to do anything.
No.
They could. It'd be nice if they did, but they're not obligated. It's not their responsibility.
Richo, happy Australia Day. And you just did say one thing.
Did Satsu play as Leon or Claire? I started with Leon.
Oh, for Resident Evil?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I started with Leon.
Did you switch? Or do you have to, like, do you still play as with Leon? Or did you, because you said you started with Leon.
Oh,
that implies that you are no longer using.
No, I'm still playing through his story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I only got to stream for a little bit last night. I really wanted to fucking pull an all-nighter, but I'm like, I like blind and I want to talk to her. I'm like, either I stay up all night and don't go to sleep, which will make my squishy unhappy, or I go to bed. So I'm like, all right.
Always make the squishy happy.
Indeed, I gotta keep the squishy happy. Switching to a more positive note, how you liking Tekken?
I was about to ask you, why is the game mechanics so much slower than fucking Soul Calibur and stuff like that? It's like playing as, like, I'm having a lot of trouble getting into it because the game mechanics are so much slower, and I'm just like, move, you stupid character, move.
It's a bit more methodical. Like it is. There are some characters that are faster than others, but obviously they don't hit as hard.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. That's kind of why I like it though, a little bit. Like that's how I kind of got into it, because things are a bit more planned out and a lot less random.
Yeah.
In the game. So that's kind of what drew me to it. I like Soul Calibur too for its kind of snappiness and slightly quicker and more ranged gameplay with the weapons and shit, you know?
Yeah. I've gotten really into Mortal Kombat right now. I'm playing MKXL a lot right now. Pinkalo's doing the story for Tekken. And I'm thinking once he's done, I'm gonna do it, but I tried watching him play it the other night and it kept switching from Japanese to English, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? I can't follow.
Yeah, because some of the characters actually, like, it's There's a lot of characters from a lot of different places, and what I
Yeah.
like about this game is they speak their language.
Yes. The character that I have played with is Katarina Alves, and I really like her.
Yeah, fucking legs, man. Ain't no fucking joke. She's a beast. I can't play with her though. She's kind of like Miguel, like the female Miguel, but Miguel is like he uses his fists mostly for power, and she uses her legs. Um, but I don't really play with those kind of power hitters. I like Lily. That's my wife. That's who I play with most of the time. Either
Yeah.
Lily Christie, or used to be Beck Tosan. He was Hao Rong's teacher back in the day. But I don't think he's in this new one. Is he in Tekken 7? I can't
I
remember.
don't know. I don't think. I'm not sure.
But yeah, those are the people I used to play with. Sometimes I play with Brian when I'm feeling like an asshole. If I want to be a douchebag, I'll play with Brian. And then I like Dragunov because he looks like a militarized Michael Jackson. Try to imagine that for a second.
Wow. Richo says Scorpion was the best. He's okay in MKXL. He's not as I think he's been better in other ones, but I do enjoy Scorpion. I like Jason. I've been playing with Jason a lot. And he's really cool, but he was hard to get used to because most of the characters, make noise, but because he's Jason, he doesn't talk, right?
Yeah.
So you just have to listen for the movements of his blade and stuff to know that it's him that's moving. But once you get used to that, and also you don't move him around a lot, because if you move him around a lot, he doesn't hit as well. But if you keep him in one spot and you do your combos, he's pretty devastating.
Well, that's interesting that they paid attention to the detail like that, because he ain't one that really chase you down all quickly and shit. He'll walk and eventually get to you at some point. And he does his best work stationary.
Yeah, it's really funny because off camera, like Pinkala was saying this, off camera, he'll get to you like that, right? If you don't see him, he's like, if you can't see him moving, he'll get to you. Like, you could be like miles and miles away, and then he'll just be there. But when you actually see him, he's freaking methodically just walking towards you. He's not fast on camera.
The motherfucker be teleporting, man.
Yep. Does Jason have a teleport?
Jason's
somebody
a
asked. Jason's honestly out of like the slasher horror movie guys, Jason's probably the freakiest for me.
Well, I would imagine so, considering he moves the quickest when he's not seen, and you kind of can't see. So, so he's gonna be on you at all times.
Yep.
That is I didn't even think of that. That's funny. Not for the blind person. But it is funny for the privileged person who can see.
Yes. Sight privilege.
Indeed, sight privilege. I'm sorry. I need to apologize to you for that, because Jason would be more effective against you than me. Let's just be glad he's not real.
Jason is the epitome of the persistent hunter. Yes, Eve.
Indeed.
I've also got to play with Alien in MKXL, and that was pretty fun.
Yeah. I think excuse me, sorry. I played Mortal Kombat X probably like 4 times. I was one of those people who bought it like, I'm gonna play the shit out of this, and I played it like 3 times. I'm just like, damn, totally wasted my money.
Well, we got it was on sale after Christmas on the PSN. It was like $7.50.
Oh yeah. It was on sale on Steam recently for super fucking cheap. I almost picked it up again, but I'm just like, I'm not going to play it. I'm not gonna play it. I'm gonna download it, and it's gonna be sitting in my large fucking collection of games that I have not played. and that's where it's gonna be because I'm not gonna play it. I just need to stop fucking downloading games that I'm not gonna play. Steam, man, they be doing that to you.
Predator beat Jason though, says Jacob.
I mean, that's not shocking.
No.
Considering Predator is a lot more equipped to deal with Jason than people are.
True.
That motherfucker got technology.
Pincalo says, Satsu, you sound like he did with South Park. He's mad about that buy. He bought the fractured but whole.
Yeah. Yeah.
For half price, so it's not like he paid full price for it. But he's not impressed with it.
I wish I could, like, I was talking to my little brother about this, of all people, but I was telling him, like, it would be amazing if you could, for some reason, at the end of the year, get back all the money you wasted on top of your income tax money. They're just like all the money you spent this year that you didn't need to. Like, if there was some entity that could keep track of that, and you could see it at the end of the year, that would help people out a lot.
It would.
Wasting money, because they'd be like, holy fuck, I wasted that much money this year. Jesus Christ, I need to get my shit together.
Yep.
Because man, oh man, I'm pretty good financially. Like, I handle our finances, and I've handled the finances in the past previous relationships that I've been in. So I'm pretty good with money overall, but I'm not immune to wasting it on shit I don't need sometimes. And then when I think about it, because I look at our money in our bank accounts and stuff, and I'd be like, man, we're doing pretty damn good. And then I think about all the money I wasted, and I'm like, shit, we could be doing so much better.
Yeah. Somebody
boy.
in chat says, you ever want to get humbled, play a ranked fighting game? Yes and no, because I've noticed that a lot of people in ranked matches tend to be the guys that figured out the one really devastating combo, and then they just do it over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I if you want to find people that actually want to play online, your best bet is to go into the player versus player rooms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because ranked people, all they want is the RP, and they just do whatever they can to get it. They don't really care about the actual match.
Yeah, well, let me see. If you ever, it's kind of hard to explain, but competitive Tekken is very different. Like, actually witnessing a fight play out in competitive Tekken versus, just two regular people playing against each other, it's very different, because Tekken consists of like juggles. It's like the air juggles are what really gets you. That's where a lot of your damage comes from, and being able to keep your opponent in the air for as long as possible is the key to winning battles in Tekken for the most part. And some characters can do it really well, some characters not so much. It just depends. Some of the characters depend on throws, but at the end of the day, keeping your character in the air and juggle and maximizing that airtime to get as much damage as you can is the way to win. And Lily in particular is pretty good at that. So I have this one combo, this that combo for people who like to pick walls, because I usually like to pick borderless maps where you can't, hit the walls and shit, because I think it evens the playing field a little bit. But for people who like to play with walls because they think they can take advantage of them, oh boy. Just like, you don't really understand what you've just done to yourself, do you? Because Lily's one of the few characters in the game that has a wall grab.
Yeah.
And a lot of her juggles can get you to the walls very easily. So I can combo you to a wall and do the wall grab, and that's like 60% of your health right there. I'm just like, I don't want to do it, but you've left me no choice.
Well, I'm really happy because they did another patch for Soul Calibur, and my main is Taki.
I used to play with Taki a lot.
What they've done for Taki is they've taken out her self ring out. Thank fuck.
Oh, that fucking jump thing where
That
she
jump.
dives
Yeah.
off the fucking ring. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, that shit got me so much.
Oh my god. It was the bane of my existence.
I used to actually like the Taki variant back on Soul Calibur 3
Yeah.
when you can there was like how did they do it back then? Basically, you can make your templated custom character based off of a fighter in the game,
Yeah.
and you can either use their ability or you can use a variant of their ability.
Oh,
So, like
okay.
for Taki, there was Taki's abilities where your character would fight just like Taki, or there was like the ninja class
Oh,
where it would
okay.
be kind of like Taki, but not really. Like it almost seems like this is Taki, but a different style. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I like that one a lot because it was a bit more versatile and a little bit different. It was more of like a slower, more power hitting version of Taki, and I like that. But the my character, my main, who I play with all the time in every Soul Calibur
Mm.
since the second one, I think, has been Talim.
Oh, really? You're a Talon guy.
I fucking love Talim. Me and Talim. It used to be Killick, Killick and Sungmina from Soul Calibur and Soul
Yeah.
Edge or whatever. I used to play with them a lot. But then I moved to Talim because Talim is a fucking god, man. She's just Talim and Cassandra for a while. I'm just like, I'm sorry.
Cassandra might be coming back.
Yeah, they fucked up Cassandra, and I didn't like her in 4 at all. And I just kind of refused to play the 5th one because I'm just like, I'm scarred. But yeah, Cassandra and Taki, not Taki, Cassandra and Talim, them was my bitches.
Oh, Eve, the move's not gone. They just made it so you can't accidentally ring yourself out.
Thoughts on Killick? I like Killick. He used to be my main before I switched to Talim. Killick and Nightmare was the two that I played with before I switched to Cassandra and Talim. Nightmare, fucking Nightmare, dude. I went from loving Nightmare and Nightmare being my favorite character, like Nightmare and Siegfried. I don't really mix. I don't really separate them because in my opinion, they're kind of the same character. But now I kind of can't stand them because everybody plays with them now.
They really do. What's really pissing me off right now about 6 is if you get into ranked battle, they put 2B from Nier Automata in Soul Calibur.
Oh yeah,
6.
yeah.
And she is fucking ridiculous. Like for every one button push you do with her, she does like 8 fucking moves.
So she's the Eddie of fucking
Yeah.
Soul Calibur.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. And then everybody and their dog was playing with her when she first got dropped in rank. So, and now they've done created characters, which is even worse for me because at least when they were playing with the regular 2B, I could tell it was 2B.
Mm-hmm.
Now with the created characters, I can't tell it's the 2B fighting style until I'm getting like until they get me like 2 or 3 times and my health is fucked. And I'm like, okay, it's 2B. Now I know how to play, but I'm almost dead. It's like, fuck.
Yeah, that's funny.
The new Maxi. I like the new Maxi.
I never liked Maxi. Maxi was always kind of like an Eddie character to me. He was one of those characters you could give the controller to a noob and say, just bash your head into this controller repeatedly and you could win. That's how I've always seen Maxi because I have accidentally done some incredible shit with Maxi that I could not replicate on purpose.
Yeah.
But
I have a house rule that no one can use Raphael.
fucking Raphael. Oh my god. Fucking Raphael. I do not have good memories of playing against Raphael on the harder difficulties. Or Ivy for that matter.
Yeah.
Fucking Ivy. Cervantes too. I actually quite like Cervantes. I played Cervantes quite a bit in 2.
Yeah.
And for some reason when 3 came out, I didn't play with him as much, but Cervantes was one of my go-tos in Soul Calibur 2 for a while.
He's got a gun blade in this one.
I think one of his blades has always been a gun.
Oh, has it?
I think so.
I've never heard it actually fire before this one.
Well, I think initially he would shoot like spirit energy out of it or
Oh, okay.
shit like that, and then they actually turned it into a gun in one of them. I could be wrong. But I felt like I'm right.
You might be.
It's been a while, man. I haven't played Soul Calibur in a minute. I know when I think Zazalamel was added in 3, if I remember correctly.
Mm.
And I never liked him at all. Never liked Zazalamel. His fighting style was very awkward to me, and his combos didn't really string well. But boy, oh boy, the people who were good at him, fuck.
Yeah.
When I played against people who main Zazalamel, I'm just like, God, I'm about to get my ass whooped. Yep, did not
what
like
did
that.
You back? Okay, Richo, what did you back up Chaos Eve on? I'm trying to keep an eye on chat, but it's moving so fast.
Oh, sorry, I hadn't even really been paying.
Will Honorless did confirm that he's always had the gunblade.
Okay, that's what I figured. Okay, he just didn't use it much. Gotcha.
I want to make I want Pincalo to help me make an Ash Williams custom character from Evil Dead and give him Cervantes' blades just because he's got the boomstick. He needs a gun.
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
At this point, I just like the memes that come from 6, like all the characters and stuff and the designs. Some of these people are getting fucking creative, and I really like that because the character customization has become just as part of the game as fighting.
Yeah,
like some people spend just as much time creating characters as they do actually game.
Pincalo says no. I am not a weeb. Why would be making Ash Williams make you a weeb? You made my character in 10 minutes. I don't think you're gonna have to spend that long on freaking Ash Williams. I had a friend. I'm not friends with him anymore. He used to play the WWE games,
right?
And he spent hours like just making different custom characters.
Oh yeah, back when wrestling games were fun. No offense to people who like them now, but back when they were fun, I used to spend a really long time making characters. Like the first 4 hours of gameplay would be me making characters, fucking creating custom move sets and shit. And that was a good time. I miss enjoying wrestling games. I miss enjoying sports games, period. I don't anymore because I just can't. But I used to like them a lot.
Pincalo says your character took me 2 minutes to make because it's a half-naked chick in a tearaway kilt. Ash would take me 10 hours. No.
That's funny.
Well, you suck.
Give the woman what she wants. Or I guess he could just say that it looks like it.
Yeah, but then if he did that, then I'd be like, look at my Ash character, everybody. And then people would be like,
like, yeah, about that. He's an asshole. Oh man. So other than fighting games, what else have you been playing?
I'm trying to come up with an idea of games that could possibly be possible to play. Because the reason I play fighting games so much is because of all the audio cues.
Right.
So I'm trying to come up with, like, I'm trying to think of games that might, that I might be able to play that have, audio cues, or at least like something that I can follow.
I gotcha. That could be tough, man. There's not a
Yeah.
lot of games that provide you with enough audio feedback to be able to play it based on that alone.
Yeah.
So fighting games are kind of what you could be limited. Have you done any like research on it?
What I'd like to try next, if I can find it on sale, so I don't spend full price on a game in case it doesn't work, is I'd like to try my hand at FPSs. Because I've found that if I've got a good pair of headphones, like, because I play Mortal Kombat with headphones on, because the characters actually, the sound of the characters actually move from speaker to speaker. So it's harder for me to find out where they are if I'm listening to it through the TV. So I'm thinking if I have a pair of headphones and at first I just try, like, against the computer or something in a campaign mode, like single player mode or something, that might be a fun experiment.
Here's something that I've seen that could be interesting for you and Pincalo to try. There's a channel, I can't remember what it's called, but they have this thing that they do sometimes that it's mainly, they mainly play like, for shooters and shit. And they'll do like all their regular videos of playing the game or whatever, and then every now and then they'll do these videos where one person puts a paper bag over their head, and that person is playing and the other person is instructing them. So they'll have the headphones in and they'll be listening to like audio cues and stuff too, but the person who is next to them is actually telling them like, okay, you're walking into a wall, or you need to make a left here, or the enemy's to the right, or something like that. And the person attempts to try to play and see how many kills he can get, or if any, playing the game like that. And I think you might have an edge doing something like that. I think that would be, I would actually like to see that within, a person who's actually used to not seeing already, but has kind of audio edge, because he was bad at it, obviously, because, he's used to being able to see. But I think that would be a really cool concept to experience.
Will Honorless says BP should try whatever the next Total War is. I'm sure they'd make it accessible.
It's possible.
Hawk Silk says perhaps a sniper type game, one where you aren't running left and right. Maybe. Pincalo says, all right, you want to try something new? I'll put you on Doom tonight. Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
Can you at least take it out of nightmare mode, please?
I mean, I don't know how much audio cues you're going to get from the screeching of the damned in every fucking possible direction. Yeah. Like, hell sounds like hell, so good luck with that. Like, where's the hell coming from? Everywhere. That'll be interesting to watch.
And Richo, what's the matter? You're calling me and putting a whole bunch of question marks. What is your boggle, sir?
Let me see if I can find a question from them. Wait. I think that's we have been through this. Wrestling is real.
We have been through
this. Message I saw.
I think him and Eve got in an argument, from what I can.
Huh.
Remember, hell is down and everywhere.
That's right. Oh man, yeah, I've been all over the place. For some reason, I've been on a zombie kick as of late. Like most of the games I play have zombies in it, uh, in some form or fashion.
Oh, Pinkalo said we could try Soma too, because he downloaded Soma because it was free.
Oh yeah, I hear Soma's pretty good. It's one of those horror games where you can't defend yourself.
Yeah.
You just gotta run for your life. Which I don't know. I don't know. Like those games are a little like I think because of the way that they're made, I'm not sure if the experience for you would be enjoyable.
Mm.
Because it is the visual
Yeah.
aspects of it that make those games the most enticing because you can't really defend yourself. So the concept of seeing or maybe hearing an enemy and knowing that it's close and having to, run to a very precise location to hide from it or something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like that could get frustrating. For a person that can't see what's going on. Like Outlast, for example. Outlast is another one of those games where hearing is fine, but the visuals is key.
Yeah.
It wouldn't hurt to try though, because you never know.
Somebody, have you ever tried Foxhole Satsu? I think they have a zombie mode, but that could have just been for Halloween.
No, I don't think I've ever played that. You know what I bought again, like a fucking idiot?
What?
I bought Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen.
You ever played it?
I've played Dragon's Dogma and I beat it. It's one of my favorite games because it's like a combination of Monster Hunter and like it's like Monster Hunter and Dark Souls and Devil May Cry like fucked and had a baby.
Okay then.
And it's really really fun. Like it's a really good game. I think it's well made. The cutscenes and the story leave a lot to be desired and shit. But
yeah.
As far as the gameplay is concerned, because it's one of those games where you're fighting like very large beasts, and not only do you fight them and engage with them, but you can like mount them, and when you mount them, you can attack like very key locations on them to like do maximum damage and stuff. So let's just say if you're fighting a big ass ogre, he's huge, and you're fighting him on the ground, and you're like knee high to him.
Yeah.
And he's just like swinging this big ass club. So he misses, you jump and climb onto his leg and you start scaling his arm or whatever. And he can grab you and throw you off of him and stuff. But you climb up to his face and start stabbing him in the eyeball or some shit. It's one of those games where the action is crazy. Like the first time I ever fought a griffin on this game and I climbed up on him to like try to get some hits off. And this motherfucker like flew up in the air. And just like, I was like fighting this thing in midair. It was insane. I'm just like, this game is fucking magical. It's very difficult, but it is a good ass time. And I bought it again on PC because it was on sale, and I haven't played it since I downloaded it. But now I hear that they're bringing it over to the Switch, and I'm like, if they put it on Switch, I will definitely play it because for some reason, when it comes to mobile games that I can play, now that I've gotten my Switch, all the games that I had initially wanted or got for a system where I had to sit on the couch in front of the TV to play. I was like, man, I just don't want to play it like this. Mm-hmm. But now that it's on the Switch, I'm like, yeah, I play this every day now because I can go anywhere and play it whenever.
Hawk Silk says, what about Alien Isolation? They have audio cues to let you know when the xenomorph is around.
Alien Isolation is a good one. But once again, the issue will come. Like you'll hear it, and you might be able to hear it and be like, "Oh God, I know it sees me." But the next thing you do at that point is run and hide in a very strategic location so he can't find you.
Yeah.
Which is hard to do for people who can.
Yeah.
And they're just like, I should be safe here. And he's like, no, you're not. It just fucks you up. It's just like, holy fuck.
Yeah. People who can see are like, I think I'm good. Oh, wait, no.
Yeah. and they know where they are, And that's why I said it might be an exercise in frustration for those games because it's very precise. It's very exact. You got to really put yourself in a position where you're like, okay, I'm out of sight. I'm not making any sounds. There's nothing under my feet that I can step on that'll make any noise. That type of stuff. You gotta pay attention to that. And it's like I said, I would still like to see it because you could still find some enjoyment in it because there's a perspective that you have that I don't, that you could probably find beneficial. There's things that you probably hear and audio cues that you'll catch that I won't. So it'll still be interesting to see. But just from my perspective, being seen and not being able to do anything about it would be annoying to me. Although trying to get through without being seen based completely off of audio cues would probably be fun, honestly. Yeah. So like I said, I would look it up because I'm sure somebody's talking about it. Somebody has to be talking about it.
There's a couple of blind guys on YouTube that play Call of Duty Black Ops.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of they'll admit that they just do kind of spray and pray. And I'd like to kind of try and be more strategic about it.
I mean, Call of Duty it's kind of just a spray and pray game at this point nowadays. They've crafted this game where you don't really have to be good anymore, because sometimes they'll place you in positions to where you feel good about playing because it's all been really streamlined right now. So there are times where you spawn right behind enemies, and just the fact that you appeared and you press the shoot button, you're like, "Yay, I got a kill!" They're like, "Good job, buddy." That game is a clusterfuck. I still enjoy it with my friends, like some of the people who I play a game with often. I enjoy playing it with them, but it's, I don't know. It's Call of fucking Duty, man.
There's somebody says, I remember there being a horror game where you play as a blind person and you find your way around by tapping your cane, but the monsters come and kill you with the sounds you make. I can't remember the name of that game, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
I know, yeah, dude, I know exactly what you're talking about. That game looked cool as fuck. What was it called though? I don't remember.
I honestly can't remember. I do know exactly what game he's talking about though.
Yeah, that game looked awesome. I would like to check that out. You know what? It's been a while since I've played like really good horror games. Because to be honest, they do actually scare me. Like I'm startled very easily with these games or whatever. But I like the feeling that I get from playing them. Because back as a kid, I couldn't really, that feeling that I get now as an adult, I couldn't deal with as a kid. Because I was just a kind of pretty timid kid overall when I was young. And one of my first kind of run-ins with horror games was just audio, because my sister's dad at the time, we used to go over his house a lot, and he used to play like old school Resident Evil 2 and other horror games. And he had this big dumbass surround system where the audio would be crazy. So I would be in bed because it's bedtime for me, and I would just hear that shit in the background, and it terrified me as a kid.
There was like some track, some part of Final Fantasy III's music that freaked me the fuck out, and I can never remember what part it was, but I didn't like it. I still to this day I still remember my uncles playing Final Fantasy III when I went to bed, and they got to this one part and it had just this creepy ass music, and I just did not like it.
Man, there was this one of the first horror games that I had ever encountered. Is actually where Resident Evil got a lot of its inspiration from. With the fixed camera angles and stuff. This game still freaks me out. I'm a grown ass man, and I still can't actually play. Like I think if somebody said, "Hey, you should stream this game," I would have a hard time playing it. Even though now the graphics are super fucking silly, and
Yeah.
it's really just it just looks like this goofy ass, really horribly rendered game. It just looks like shit. The original Alone in the Dark,
Mm.
that game scares the fuck out of me still as an adult. And even when I watch other like I've watched speed runs of it and just other playthroughs, I'm like, something is really unsettling about this game. And the character models now, like I said, they're really goofy and just super weird, and it's kind of cartoony. But man, the original
I'm
Alone in the Dark freaks me out.
I'm that way with certain horror movies. Like there are movies that I watched when I was younger, that really like freaked me out, and like now that I'm an adult, like the original Evil Dead,
Mm.
the 1981 or 83 version, is silly and campy as fuck, right? But it was supposed to be a horror movie, like an actual horror movie. There was no intentional comedy
Mm.
in that original Evil, and there are still some scenes, probably because of the sound, that I just like. I'll still watch it because I love that franchise, but I'm just unsettled as fuck.
Yeah, yeah, that game. Like the other Alone in the Dark games, apparently, what's really weird though is if you ever, okay, well, I know you don't get upset at the wording, but I just feel weird saying this. But if you ever see the um the original Alone in the Dark, the main character, the dude in that game, because in that game you could pick a dude or a chick.
Okay.
Apparently he played in some of the later Alone in the Dark games, but he doesn't look anything like he looked before. Apparently, it's supposed to be the same character, but it's like weird because back then he was this like he's this weird kind of cartoony mustache lawyer looking dude, just goofy looking, big old eyes popping out of his head, kind of,
Yeah.
you know. And then in the newer game, he's just some white dude, and he was supposed to be like the character that carried over. But what was really creepy about that game is when you died, the original Alone in the Dark, you didn't just die and it said game over. What would happen is you would die, and then the whatever killed you in the next scene would be dragging you through the sewers,
Oh
and
Jesus.
and then they would like take your lifeless body and like throw it on an altar or something, and then like the game would end at that point. But it was
Jesus
it was
Christ.
creepy as fuck, dude. It was creepy as hell. That game freaked me out.
Bruce Campbell can't help but be funny. That's true. But Eve was asking if I watched Ash versus Evil Dead. I fucking love Ash versus Evil Dead. I got so mad when Stars canceled it because they had written a fourth season. They had written the third season to lead to the fourth season. And the only reason Stars canceled it was because they weren't getting enough views, but they made it US only.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't, if you were Canadian or British or anything else, you had to wait until the seasons were released or, pirate it.
Right.
So Stars kind of shot themselves in the foot with that one.
I see Lindsay in the chat. Lindsay, have you ever seen the original Alone in the Dark? If you really like Resident Evil, I recommend you go look up the original Alone in the Dark. Because
What console was that on, or was it PC?
I believe it was PC.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe it was PC. You can really see the influences from that game because that was like one of the first fixed camera angle games. And they used to do these weird alternate perspectives. Like they would sometimes like you would go into a room And when you go into that room, there would be and from the outside of the window perspective.
Mm.
And it was immediately unsettling. Like you were just like, what the fuck is out there? Is something watching me, or are they just doing this for cinematic effect?
Yeah.
And oh man, it was one of those games. There was another game too called I think it was called Dead Isle. This game you can't find it anywhere.
Mm.
And the uncensored version of this game is so unbelievably rare. I can't even find clips of it on YouTube. But I really remember this game because before when it had first came out, it wasn't censored. But something happened, like the game was like too graphically violent, and they censored it. Now this is a really old game.
Yeah.
And basically the concept is you crashed your plane on an island. It was kind of first person like Doom was.
Oh, okay.
And the island that you landed on was full of cannibals.
Hmm.
And what would happen is when the cannibals actually got you, there was these horrible, horrible cutscenes of them just like literally tearing you apart. But it was like, old school 8-bit, 16-bit type of thing. And it was still pretty gruesome and like bloody and terrible, but they toned down those death scenes or whatever and like censored them so they weren't so bad. And like I don't even know if anybody still has the uncensored version or if it's even a thing anymore. But it was terrifying. That game used to scare the shit out of me too. Because it was horrific. Like they would jump on, like the cannibals would like attack you, and then the screen would like flip, and they would show like a whole bunch of people like from like the torso up, and I'm presuming below that was you, the person who they just jumped on or whatever.
Oh god.
And they would literally just be ripping limbs, from you, and just like dude, this is fucked. It wasn't Dead Island. It was called Dead Isle, I think.
That sounds terrifying.
Let me see if I can find the link actually, because I won't be able to find the uncensored version because I don't think it exists anymore. But yeah, because I was looking, I'm like, man, I'd like to see that again, but you can't find the cutscenes anywhere.
Pincalo says, I've got one for you, Satsu. What if you could play Resident Evil 1.5?
Resident Evil 1 for... Oh, you know what? I'm wrong. It wasn't Dead Isle. It was Isle of the Dead.
Oh.
Isle of the Dead was what this game was called. Oh, wait, is this it? Hold on. Okay, I'm sorry. I done got into this now. Resident Evil 1.5, finding a working version of that has been difficult for me. Not that I've been, like, looking aggressively. But the song from this game is super iconic. I love the song from this game because it's this goofy kind of theme that, like, repeats and plays over and over or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And it's such a memorable theme. Like, here, I'm gonna drop the link because I think this is it. Here, guys, I'm putting this in the chat, so you should be able to see it too. I used to love this game. It was terrifyingly awesome. Let's see here. Paste. There it is in the chat, guys, if you want to check it out.
Check out Justin Wong's new video. He tells you why you can't find a copy of it, says Pincalo.
Oh, is that right?
The Evil Dead games on the PS2 are actually a lot of fun, says Cynical Lindsay. I've only ever played Hail to the King on the Dreamcast.
This game was so goofy looking. Why was I terrified of this, man? It was creepy as hell, though. It looked like the old school Doom games. It's kind of but I'm trying to see if they actually show the death scenes in this one, because that's what I was looking for. They had it in it looked like they showed it in the thumbnail.
Hawk Silk says, I found it for download, by the way. Simple Google search.
Oh, 1.5 Resident Evil.
1.5, yeah.
Yeah. That game, one of the costumes that you get in the for pre-ordering, the newest one, you get oh shit, yeah. There it is. There's one of the death scenes right there. Yeah, one
Did
of
it
the
get censored out, or is it...
no, it's at 3 minutes and 13 seconds or something right there. They actually show one of the death scenes in the game. There was a bunch of them, but this is one of them. Damn, I forgot what I was saying. One of the costumes that you get on the new one is from the character that never got released.
okay.
Because Claire in Resident Evil 2 was supposed to be this character called Elsa. And she was like a biker girl too, and she had on this kind of like racing outfit or whatever. And she was supposed to be the initial character, and her and Leon was never supposed to interact at all throughout the campaign.
Yeah.
But they wanted a tie to the first one, so they made Claire instead and made her Chris's sister from the first one. So that way they would have some type of connection to the previous game, and Elsa got scrapped. But you get Elsa's costume for Claire in the new Resident Evil as a nod to that game that never came out, which I thought
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like when they do stuff like that. And in this game, Leon gets he gets a fucking Rick Grimes costume, which from The Walking Dead, which I think is like super appropriate.
Pinkalo says it's not the same, or that's not the official 1.5. They did something fucked. The story behind it is fucked up, he says.
Gotcha.
Brad Young says, gotta go, time for work. Well, have a good day at work, Brad. And I was just about to say, we're going to wrap up at 11:30. So if chat has any questions for me or Satsu, now is your time. Somebody asked you if you stayed up all night not to miss the stream. I don't think they heard the fact that you went to bed.
Yeah, that was gonna be the plan. Like, I thought that I could do that, but I looked over at my squishy and she made a super sad face, and I'm like, oh, all right, I guess I gotta go to bed.
Yeah.
Oh, you did you see it, Chaos?
You don't want the sad-faced squishy.
Mm-mm. Like, you should play The Forest. We played the shit out of The Forest. We have an entire playlist on our channel of us playing through that entire game, and we beat it, by the way, Will. So if you subscribe to my 2 Cents Plus channel, you could check it out. We had a lot of fun playing The Forest. That game is fun.
TWD needs not to ride coattails. It needs to be done. Yes. The Walking Dead is... yeah. I tried watching The Walking Dead when it first started. And when I watched the series premiere, I literally went, am I watching 28 Days Later for TV? And then I turned it off and I never watched it again.
I got a soft spot for zombie anything, so everybody else is like, fuck that show. I'm like, I like it still. Like, I still enjoy it. But if you don't, that's fine. Yeah, this is the only video that I have ever found with a death scene on it, because what they did was, like, when you die on this game, after the death scene, there's like a mad scientist like laughing maniacally or whatever. They would skip the death scene and just go to the mad scientist maniacally laughing.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the way that they censored the game. And he looks like some fucking Animaniacs villain. Like some fucking Freakazoid villain or some shit.
That's interesting.
But it looks it was a pretty crazy game. And back then, like looking at it now, I'm just like, yeah, that's kind of goofy. But it terrified me as a kid. Like that, when I first saw that death scene, I was just like, "Holy fuck! Do limbs really tear off that easily?" Like that's not cool. Yeah, it was pretty gory, but it's cooler that you get ripped apart. Yeah, I know. Well, there's too many zombie games right now, and this sounds like a weird criticism, but there's way too many zombie games where the zombies don't try to eat you.
Yeah,
I find
that's
that
true.
problematic because I'm just like most zombie games now they just beat you to death,
Hmm.
and then you're just like on the ground.
That's not how zombies work.
Yeah.
It's really not. I don't know. I find zombies not as scary as demons.
Holy shit! This is an actual compilation video of death scenes in Isle of the Dead.
Hmm. A death scene compilation.
Yeah, it doesn't have all of them though. Just a few of them. I remember in this game there were things you can do that would kill you,
Hmm.
like you would kill yourself. Like there was a shotgun that you found that was broken.
Oh
Uh,
no.
and you had to repair it. But if you tried to use it before you could repair it, there was a scene where you would blow your own fucking head off.
Oh Jesus.
Um, and it was funny. And there was also like booby traps and shit in the game. It was an interesting game. Uh, it's a very interesting game. I wonder if I can download like find like an uncensored version of it if that exists somewhere, like a ROM or something.
Oh God, Eve. She goes like Play-Doh, Satsu.
Oh
To
geez,
rip you apart like Play-Doh.
Yield games. It's just nostalgic, you know. You think about all the games that you used to see and experience as a kid. I do remember something else. Like there were a lot of games that I used to watch that I shouldn't have when I was a kid. That the adults around me would be playing, and they'd like, "You're not allowed to watch this." One of those games in particular. Now I have no idea what this game was
Mm.
or what it was called. But I'm gonna explain to you the one scene that I saw from this game, and I never saw anything else from it again because I was always banned from the room whenever people were playing it. But basically, there was a dude on the beach, and he was walking around, and there was a chick in a lawn, like in a beach chair,
Yeah.
on the beach, and the dude like walks up to this girl. Some text comes by or whatever, and then next thing you know, in the next second, he's like having sex with this girl in the lawn chair, right?
Okay.
And after he's done, he gets up and you take a couple steps and he pulls a crab out of his pants. And as a kid, I didn't understand that. I'm like, that's stupid. Why'd he pull a crab out of his pants? But now that I'm an adult, I'm like, holy shit, now I get it. But I don't know what the game is. I have no idea what this game is that they were playing, but I wasn't allowed to watch them play it. And I'm like, what the fuck was this? What
I
was
don't
that?
know what game you're talking. I've never heard of that game.
Well, I don't. I've seen, like I said, that one clip from it, and they were like, get out of here! What are you doing?" Because I was watching them play it. But it was just weird because as a kid, I'm like, he just pulled a crab out of his pants. That's weird. Now I'm an adult. I'm like, okay, that was like okay, I get it.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the fuck the game was, and it's like, so a lot of people say Leisure Suit Larry, but it didn't. The character didn't look like Larry. Like I know what Larry looks like now,
Yeah.
and the character in this game did not look like Larry, unless Larry looked very different back then. Because I have a picture in my head what Leisure Suit Larry looks like, and it wasn't him. It wasn't the dude in the game, at least from what I saw. Because
that's just disturbing and weird.
it was weird. It was so strange, and I thought it was funny because I didn't get the context. I didn't know what was happening. I'm just like, he just like
How odd.
he's playing with that lady in the chair, and she gave him a crab.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, she did. But it was like a whole fucking gigantic fucking red lobster ass crab.
Yeah.
So, are you thinking a newer game? It was a really old game. A really, really old game. Everybody says it sounds like Leisure Suit Larry.
Maybe it was the older version.
Could be. Now you gotta make me look that shit up. I'm gonna be looking up retro games all day.
Yeah, you guys go to play 2 Cents Plus tonight. Well, we're not playing 7 Days to Die. We're actually playing.
Yeah. On second thought, no Resident Evil. We're gonna just do some. We're gonna play some Isle of the Dead.
Are you doing Resident Evil tonight?
I'm probably gonna end up doing it before Lords. As opposed to replacing me and Monkey's stream time. Because I know Monkey really enjoys those streams, and I do too. And I don't want to just like abruptly stop what we got going there. So I'll just, I think I'll just end up doing it before Lords of the Night, and then we'll do our regular stream afterwards. Also, I don't want the people who can't watch during the day, because there's a lot of people who actually watch our streams at the time when we stream them.
Yeah.
Because that's when they can.
Yeah.
And I don't want them to miss out on that Resident Evil goodness, or at least not too much.
Yeah.
Streaming before Lords of the Night, they might though. I know we passed time, but
well, I want to thank chat for coming out, and I want to thank Satsu for coming. I know it was early for you, but I had a lot of fun, and I hope to have you back at some point. I definitely, guys, go check out Lords of the Night tonight. It's on Scribe's channel tonight, right? Okay. So come check out Lords of the Night on Scribe's channel tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, and then go and watch Satsu and Monkey play. You're playing 7 Days to Die tonight, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So go over to 2 Cents Plus and check out Monkey and Satsu playing 7 Days to Die tonight. Thank you guys for coming and listening to us. And I do apologize for the beginning of the stream where my kid was screaming and I couldn't get to the mute button. I hope everyone has a really good rest of the day and a good weekend. Remember to tune into the Star Trek stream tomorrow, where Skep Talk, Hammer, Polydub, and I will be talking about Dark Frontier. Have a great day, guys. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you later.
Bye, guys.